All right, ladies and gents, the impossible looks like it's about to happen. 6 seconds left in this game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. It's gone final. 23-17, Washington football team hands the Pittsburgh Steelers at 11-0, hands them their first loss. An incredible ending. Great, another chapter for the Alex Smith comeback story. Alex Smith was effective through a game-time touchdown to Logan Thomas in the corner of the end zone. And then let's talk about the problems for the Steelers tonight. You got to make plays. We were Tony and myself here, Tony Kennedy here on the TD Report. We were watching the game together. And we haven't watched a game together in the same room in a long time with COVID and everything. But let's be honest. 7 drops. That's just what we counted between the third quarter and the fourth quarter. You can't win games if you're dropping passes. Ben was putting some balls in there.
Yeah, Ben was doing a great job. But you have to give the credit to the Washington football team.
Absolutely.
Hail to you guys. I'm a boys fan, but I'm going to give you guys credit. Give you credit where credit is due. You guys came out and you did a great job.
Well, Tony, we talked on the last show. We talked earlier today. That's 3 decent games by NFC East teams this week.
At Seattle?
Seattle got handled by the Giants. Colt McCoy, the Fighting McCoys.
At Green Bay, Philly had the game. I mean,
Philly was doing
Philly
okay.
did all right.
And that was with a backup.
At Pittsburgh,
they
lost.
to Pittsburgh.
And now you're going to have Dallas going into Baltimore tomorrow night, and there's going to be a rumble. The NFC least, don't you count them folks out. We're still the only division with every team with a Super Bowl championship.
Well,
never underestimate the heart of champions.
I was going to say the same thing. The NFC East did show a lot of guts. Now let's see if the Dallas Cowboys can do the same thing. What do you think Jerry's boys are going to do?
I think they're going to come here to Baltimore. Matter of fact, when we get off here, I'm going to go down there and see if I can break the COVID rules and go see them.
Oh my
I'm going to go try to go see my boys in here because they're going to shock the nation tomorrow night.
Tony, you
The Cowboys are going to come in here and shock the nation tomorrow night.
For those of you guys just joining in, this is the TD Report. I'm your host, David Combs. I'm here with Tony Kennedy. TD, we are talking about the WFT. Big victory tonight over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They haven't beat them since 1991.
Since 91.
Since 1991.
WFT keeps pace with the New York Giants. They moved to 5-7 on the year.
Second place.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers dropped to a crispy 11-1. And that was a bitter loss.
Bitter loss, though.
Bitter loss. Something I saw, 4 minutes, 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Steelers were faced with 4th and 1. A throw to a running back with 5 catches on the season. Why not pound the rock there, Tony?
Because they can't run the ball. Pittsburgh cannot run the ball.
That's a problem, guys.
And I am telling you right now, you watch out. That front four for the Redskins or the Washington football team, them boys can ball. That's why you weren't running the ball. Steelers ain't all that. The Cowboys had them beat. Y'all can't come sweep our division. We still champions. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. And that's what our division is. Y'all gonna sit here and talk trash. One of those teams gonna get in that playoff and might run through it. They ain't losing no first round in the playoffs. You watch it. Y'all folks watch it.
Great line play by the Washington football team. Guys all working together. Guys getting their hands in passing lanes. The Steelers had flirted with interceptions all night, with drops, balls tapped in the air, guys not making plays on footballs, and finally in the end, it cost them. It finally bit them. Dustin Hopkins tacks on 2 field goals at the end there to essentially put the game out of reach. I thought it was a really interesting game to watch, but honestly, watching these NFC teams the last 3 games, and then hopefully we'll see what Dallas does. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the WFT tonight.
Hey, I see you rolling. Hey, look, Keith. I ain't no Redskin fan. I ain't no Washington fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. They might have swept us this year, but that's okay because we didn't have that. But I'm going to give them their props.
Tony, Cowboys
They
terrible.
went up in there and they did it.
Tony, Cowboys
and
terrible.
they beat them.
Cowboys terrible, Tony. Y'all terrible.
They're pretty bad. But they might show up tomorrow night.
Okay.
They might show up tomorrow night.
Okay.
Then,
So we're going to have some folks that are going to be texting in tonight. We're going to go back and forth on the WFT victory. But let's go to the big show. Let's go to the topic that we had for the week. Let's talk about what happened last week. I'm going to hit Tony with a few games. We're not going to go through the whole slate. We're going to hit Tony with a few games. We want to get his impressions on them. So I'm going to start with the first one. Las Vegas Raiders over the New York Jets, 31-28. This is my segment that I'm going to call Bruh. What was that?
that is called, we need the quarterback for the first round, and we're not going to lose it. We need to be 0-12 so we can get the big boy from Clemson.
For those that didn't watch that game, the Jets led 28-24 late in the fourth quarter and should have been playing a soft prevent defense. They were up by more than 7. They were up by more than 3, and they lose on a bomb. The only thing that could have beat them was a bomb. And speaking of bombs, defensive coordinator Greg Williams today was fired for calling a blitz on that play.
He should be fired for that call. That was awful.
That was...
But he's been doing it. He's done it before.
Greg Williams lives by the blitz. He dies by the blitz. But that was a tough way to lose. I know that the Jets probably weren't trying to win the game, but to be honest, you're supposed to win that.
Yeah, you're supposed to win. Hey, wait a minute. We got some people coming on. Mike Hunter, you're right. That's the Friendship head coach. Hey, Mike Hunter.
Friendship Collegiate High School.
I got the cleared time for you guys. That's a big win for these Washington football team. That's probably the biggest win for them in 20 years. 15, 20 years.
It's a big win.
That's a huge win.
Keith Kelly is also texting in. The Giants beat the Seahawks. Yes, they did. Colt McCoy may be their new QB. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
No. Danny Dimes or Danny Nichols.
It's Danny's team. It's
Danny
Nichols.
It's Danny's team. He ain't throwing no dimes.
Listen, I'm happy for Colt. I'm happy for him. Yeah. But I just don't think Colt is a long-term solution for the Giants or for any team as a starter. He can get you a couple of starts and not kill you, but I looked at the stats. He didn't look great. But, the Seahawks ought to be ashamed of themselves for losing that. I don't want to steal my own thunder on that. Let's move on to the next game that we had as far as a recap. Titans fall to 8-3, losing to the Browns, who are surprising 9-3. Baker Mayfield goes 25 of 33 for 4 touchdowns, no INTs and no sacks. That was pretty sexy. What do you think about Baker?
Baker Mayfield is hitting his stride right where he need him to be. Right where you need them to hit, and I like Cleveland because they got a sound running game,
good defense,
and they play good defense. Those are the keys in the playoffs, and with a sound running game and a good run defense, man, you can't substitute that.
It's surprise. I shouldn't be surprised, but they've been talking about the Browns for a couple of seasons as a team that's emerging, but now they're sitting at 9-3, with 4 games to play. They're a potential factor in the AFC playoff picture.
They're a potential factor. What's up, Eric Smith?
E. Smith, what's up, baby?
Brother?
What's up?
What's up? My quarterback, one of my quarterbacks at BT. Hey,
I know who Eric Smith is.
We going on, baby. What's up, man? Hey, listen, guys. Baker Mayfield isn't a beast. He's doing what he's asked to do, and he's doing it well. And I like his game. I like what he's doing. Playoffs this year? Playoffs. Listen, y'all can flip a coin on both sides of the whole thing. Flip a coin. We don't know who's going to be in Tampa.
No, we don't.
Because this right here, between the COVID and between everything that's in it and everything else. Hey, listen, guys. This thing is wide open. You know what's going to be worse? Let Dallas go up in there and beat Baltimore tomorrow.
Well, that's an elimination game. They're eliminated. That's it.
They're eliminated, or they're going to get the third pick.
Or they get the third pick. There it is.
Third place or third pick.
Moving on. The Giants, New York Football Giants, upset the Seattle Seahawks.
The G-Men!
gave them their first home loss at home. That's 17-12. Giants. Giants run game major factor. 31 totes for $190.
I love them.
This is old school football.
I love the Giants.
You like the Giants?
I love the G-men.
What do you like about them?
They are sound all the way around.
Okay.
They just do.
But they don't win a lot.
It's something about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about them. They 5-7. That means you only one game. That means you had one game where you would be 500 ball.
They have an easier road. They have an easier road than the WFT does. We know that. And the schedule works out for them.
And they swept the
WFT. They do get a chance. They do get a chance to play Dallas again.
And they
might be able to. And they swept the WFT.
Okay.
So
the Giants.
They should win. The Giants should win the division, but the WFT said not so fast, my friend. Russell Wilson, 27-43 for 263 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Giants defense sacked him 5 times.
And listen, man, Russ is my favorite quarterback. If the Giants defense sacked him like that,
Tony's text line is going crazy right now.
Yeah,
a lot of WFT fans have been.
A lot of WFT
fans
are killing me right now.
And the Steelers fans have run and hid. They're out on they're out on 95 heading north.
Yeah,
at a very fast pace. They can't wait to get out of the D.C. area. So, Tony, what happened with the Seahawks? What happened with them? Are they not running the ball like they should be able to?
The Seahawks have got the same problem as the Steelers. They're relying too much on their quarterback, and they can't run the ball. But the Steelers got a better defense than the Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks is in trouble.
You've got Russell Wilson back there, 27-43, like I said, 263 yards, harassing him into 5 sacks. At this stage of the season, when you've got your situation going with the Seahawks, you don't want to have these guys taking that many extra hits. That's a lot of dropbacks. That's a lot of dropbacks at this time of year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there's a lot of dropbacks. There's too many.
Too many.
And when you're talking about guys, you have to protect that quarterback. A good running game protects the quarterback. That's why Baker Mayfield's so good this year. He has two-headed monster with his 2 running backs.
Baker Mayfield even caught a pass yesterday. I mean, Baker was doing it all out there. He did everything but sell popcorn. Now let's move on to what I consider the big story of Sunday. Eagles fell behind early and lost to the Green Bay Packers, 30-16. The big story. Carson Wentz pulled for Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Wentz went 6 for 15, so he dropped back 15 times. He was sacked 4 times. Hurts wasn't much better, but the big story is you've got a failing franchise QB now in Philadelphia. Major problem. In 2019, Wentz signed a 4-year extension through 2024 for $109 million. That's 4th best in the league.
Yeah.
He sits at a $59 million cap hit next year if he's not on the roster. $59 million.
Ooh.
If Carson Wentz is not on the 2021 roster for the Philadelphia Eagles, his hit against their cap is $59 million. So for all you math gurus out there, the cap next year is estimated to be at $175 million. So he represents 34%.
Jesse James of the week.
That's early. Here it goes. Tony's got to put on the ski mask. Here we go. Stealing checks.
Jesse James of the week is Carson Wentz. He is the Jesse of the week.
Jesse James.
He is stealing a check in Philadelphia.
He's going to end up staying on the roster, Tony. You can't cut him at $59 million on your cap hit. You've got to keep him.
Carson is a Jesse.
You got to keep him.
You can't keep him.
Now listen
He's
to
a
this.
Jesse.
Listen to this. If he's not on the roster in 2022, that cap hit goes down to 24.5. So that's when the move is going to have to be made. He made his deal the way he made it so that he could definitely keep himself on that roster. It's to give himself contract security, to keep a team from getting cute. Because remember, he does have an injury history.
Yeah, a big injury history. And they always get to him. See, look, I have my boy Charles. Hey, Pearl Harbor Day today. To all my vets. Purple Heart Charles, I see you, brother. Pearl Harbor Day today. My man Fitz. Pearl Harbor, your dad. Yeah. Hey guys, we love our military. He is a Jesse. He's a Jesse James. Y'all know what a Jesse is.
That's Cody Fitzgerald, our former. Hey, thanks, Cody. Fitz, we miss you, bro. You're our show. You're our guy on the soundboard.
Yeah, you got on soundboard. We doing this a little black today, baby.
Oh God, the Buffalo Bills just threw up on themselves here against the 49ers, and
I forgot there's another game on. The
Bills just fumbled on their own 2-yard line on a handoff. The guy just literally threw up on himself. We're sitting here watching it out here on the big screen. So San Francisco has taken over on the turnover. They picked the ball up at their 2-yard line. Zach Moss, his first career fumble loss, 82 scrimmage touches. That's tough for a rookie. So we'll get back to what we've been talking about here. So the Eagles have a quarterback problem. Dallas has a quarterback issue with Dak being injured. The Giants are down to quarterback number 2 with Danny Dimes going down. Mm-hmm. And here are the WFT with Alex Smith hanging tough. Who would have thunk it?
Hey, man, this is incredible. But what I will tell you, and I'm going to keep saying it, it's the only division in sports where every team has a championship.
Well, it's going to be a while before Dallas sees another one.
It's going to be a while for the Washington football team see another one.
It's going to be a while for them too, but I'm just saying, Dallas terrible.
They're pretty terrible.
Okay.
But they're terrible because they ain't got their quarterback.
They're terrible because Zeke keeps fumbling the football.
Yeah, but they ain't got the quarterback.
That's a problem.
They ain't got the quarterback.
Well, that ain't Dak's fault that Zeke is fumbling. Dak is on the sideline. In an air cast. He's relaxing.
Okay.
He's just watching the show. For those of you who are just joining us, the WFT handle the Pittsburg Steelers 23-17. Steelers dropped to 11-1. The WFT keeps pace with the New York Football Giants at 5-7 in the NFC East. It's getting kind of tight. It's getting tight in the divisions now as we get to the last quarter of the season. So, Tony, talk to me about the WFT as we shift gears. I saw a lot of work by the WFT in the flats. Looks like Scott Turner saw something there.
Well,
Steelers were playing the shell coverage to neutralize.
Steelers playing terrible defense.
They were backing up so they could.
Ed, your boys are terrible.
Oh, Lord.
They ain't going nowhere. I told you that. They still in the check too. They were fake. They paper champions. Let the daggone Washington football team come up in that joint and wreck house. With a sorry quarterback. Alex Smith ain't that good. Now, I give Alex Smith credit.
Alex Smith made plays. He made plays.
I give him credit. He came back from the injury and all that. So we're not going with that. Alex Smith is terrible. Y'all sitting around here like he good.
Tony,
he ain't doing nothing.
Tony, I saw the E60. Alex Smith's leg.
That's great.
I don't even know how the man walks.
Well, after that, he's terrible. Haskins should be playing.
Well,
y'all can't even go down the field. Y'all ain't gonna beat nobody good. Pittsburgh's not that good.
Oh, here we go. Who does WFT have next, Tony?
Right here, San Francisco.
San Francisco. So they're gonna have to go out to the coast.
They're gonna have to go out to the coast
short week. It's gonna be tough, but you know what? Beating an 11-1 team on their turf, that's even tougher. Yeah. So at this point, I wouldn't count the WFT out now.
You're talking about HTTR. No. What? HTTW.
Those of you that are watching us live, go ahead and hit us on the WFT line. On the TD report line. Go ahead and text us. We will try to get your text during the show. Fitz has texted in. He said Dallas has an owner issue. Absolutely, I believe that Dallas has had an owner issue for quite some time. Jerry Jones is an egomaniac, and I do think that the game has passed him by. The less that he touches that football team, the better they are. I don't know what coach other than Parcells could function under that, because what coach can tell Jerry to, you know what, go back up in the owner's box and just stay there. That's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. In addition, the Dallas Cowboys have an issue in their locker room and on the field. There's no leadership there. No one's being held accountable for bad mistakes. Zeke Elliott with 6 fumbles already on the season. As good a player as he is, he's supposed to be a leader. He's making most of the money.
Well, you know
that's the problem with Dallas. As soon as the guys get their money, they stop playing hard.
He did get COVID.
What's that?
He did get COVID, so it could have been.
Well, he probably got it on somebody's yacht with all them girls and stuff. That's probably what happened. He loved them ladies. Am I wrong?
Zeke, you better get your stuff together, boy.
Zeke better clean
You're
his...
the next Jesse, boy. You're going to get the next Jesse.
If I were him, I'd be looking at what his cap hits are.
Well, yeah, because it's time to...
running backs are disposable in this league. And, I mean, hey, listen, Gurley got all of those... You pinned it on owner too strong. Basically, running backs in the NFL are so disposable, and even if you get that big money deal, you're still susceptible to getting cut 2 to 3 years into your deal. The running back position is very unique in all of football, because what happens is your best years are your first 4 to 5 years. And that's the hardest time for you to get your money. That's where you're starting to see these guys hold out a lot sooner. They've got to get that big money deal because these teams are trying to put so many yards on their legs. Let's see. What's up with my Broncos? Is it Elway?
I know it's going to be Dak. Dak is going to Denver.
So,
and you be quiet, Tommy. Don't you come over here talking no trash just because your team won today. I'm tired of that. Now I got to listen to you for the rest of the daggone week telling me how good y'all are.
Oh, goodness.
That's okay. That's all right. Y'all got this one. But, Tommy, you need to stop that. And you know better than that.
I think someone said Star Wars 16: Attack of the Ewok.
You're
just making just treating Zeke bad.
Don't treat that. You listen. Listen. Y'all ain't won in a couple years, in 5-6 years, so y'all all happy. That's all right. We used to win it. Y'all ain't. And I understand.
At this point, I think a lot of Dallas fans that were not Dak fans are seeing what life without Dak is. And honestly, I think that helps him in negotiations. I think what's going to happen with Dak is he's either going to get franchised again, transition tagged, or however it works, or they're going to sign him to that long-term deal. I don't know if he ever gets out to make it to Denver, but to answer the previous texter's question, the problem with Denver is more than likely John Elway. It probably is. They've tried a lot of different stopgap measures. This quarterback plugged in here. This quarterback plugged in here. It obviously worked with Peyton Manning, but we all know that the defense is what held that team together, held that team up, and made it special. Manning was running on fumes. So the question is going to be, is Elway capable in his role of putting the right quarterback in the right situation? I don't think he is, but we'll see what happens. I do think we're going to see a lot of quarterback upheaval in the league over the next year or two. As such, we've watched the New York Jets try to tank for Trevor. We're not sure if Trevor Lawrence from Clemson is going to come out. We don't know if Justin Fields from Ohio State is going to come out.
They're coming out.
You think they're going to come out?
I know they're coming out. When you that high in the draft, top 1 pick to 4 or 5 pick, you got to come out. There's no reason to stand.
Do you see either one of them trying to force a trade from a bad franchise or a franchise that might not be amenable to a young quarterback?
Trevor would be crazy to try to get traded from the Jets because he's going to make more money off the field than he ever make on the field.
Okay.
It's about money.
It's about money?
Yeah, it's about money. Tommy, defense played a good game.
The WFT defense played a great game.
Tommy, they played a one-dimensional team.
It's not. You can't say that. They were 11-0 coming into.
They were 11-0, but they ain't beat nobody. They beat Dallas and Cincinnati twice.
They beat the teams
and the rest of them.
Tony, they beat the teams they had to beat.
Who they beat that won anything?
So we talked about the relative strength of the Pittsburg Steelers. This was back when they were 11-0, 10-0, whenever. And comparing them to a team like, say, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who ain't beat nobody either.
Well,
they both ain't beat nobody. They beat somebody, then talk to me.
Well, you can only play the schedule that they give you, Tony.
Okay, so the schedule they give you now, they got to go to Buffalo. Pittsburgh got to go to Buffalo.
It's going to be a good game.
They're going to lose that game.
If Buffalo plays run defense like I think they're capable, should be a problem. Oh, yes, we've got a Hokie fan on the text line, Evan Nelson.
Hey, yeah, Hokie.
We've got to talk about.
Well, we get to that on Thursday because he's a UVA dude and I'm a Virginia Tech dude.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be. You tune in on Thursday because it is good now.
My University of Virginia Fighting Wahoos are going to try to win 2 games in a row from the Hokies for the first time since
Facebook was created.
Who was quarterback then?
Oh,
Aaron Brooks. Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, Aaron Brooks was the last time.
Aaron Brooks is the last.
They beat us in 97 and 98.
Aaron Brooks is the last UVA quarterback to win 2 games against the Hokies.
And that was back when Bill Clinton was president.
That was when Bill Clinton was
president.
And
we almost had 4 presidents later.
Shout out to my man from UVA. Shout out to my man Ahmad Hawkins, the Hawk. With the big catch against the Hokies. Big comeback that year. What was that, 36-29? I think you guys were up 29-7.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, and that was in Blacksburg.
That was in Blacksburg.
But yeah, Thursday we're going to do a UVA VT show. We are going to talk a little bit about.
So y'all haven't beaten us in Blacksburg in 22 years.
We have not beaten you in Blacksburg in 22 years.
God almighty. Man, hey Tommy, you need to stop.
I was actually in Blacksburg for that game. I was going out with a Hokie gal. That was kind of a fun weekend. But yeah, we did kind of beat y'all that time. But moving back, let's recap again. For those of you just joining us, we've got some great viewers on here. WFT moved to 5-7 on the season, defeating the homestanding Pittsburg Steelers, dropping them to an 11-1 record. A very deflating loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have, at some point, is Ed going to call us? You think Ed Tomlin's going to call us?
Is Ed going to call?
Maybe we should call Ed Tomlin. This is Mike Tomlin's brother, the Pittsburgh Steelers coach. We might have to give him a call and mess with him a little bit. He might not be happy to hear from us, but we'll see. Is he going to answer his phone?
Hey, Ed.
Ed's not answering his phone.
He ain't answering the phone.
Ed might not answer.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
Let's see. Oh, he might not answer. Oh, come on, Ed. Oh, man, Tommy, you stop that.
Hey, Tom.
Your son was being recruited by Tech. Man, you need to stop that.
We're calling him. We're calling him
right now.
Your call has been forwarded to an.
We got voicemail. Ed, you should pick your phone up, Ed.
Ed, you should pick that phone up.
Pick the phone up, Ed.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept it.
His mailbox is full.
His mailbox full.
Ed, you know you're wrong.
Ed, you wrong.
Ed, you know you're wrong. Ed, if you're listening, hit us up, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, WFT with a big victory tonight. It was a great game, hard-hitting game, but I think the WFT defense, I think they found something in Pittsburgh, and they were able to exploit it.
Hey, we always can smoke one for Pearl Harbor Day, baby. Pearl Harbor Day for my vets.
Hey, Cody Bennett, if you got time, call in the show, baby. Cody Bennett is going to be possibly calling in. He's going to talk to us about from the fantasy side. Hopefully, he'll get his spreadsheets out. But this is a good guy to get your games set up and your lineup set up.
Cody won't be talking about no fantasy tonight. Cody's
a big Redskins fan, so he's going to be telling us about it. I thought Cam Sims looked good tonight for the WFT.
I mean, listen, WFT did
Cam
a little.
Sims is a wide receiver for the WFT.
Yeah, I'm starting trouble because these Redskin fans, and I'm going to call y'all Redskin. Mama named you Clay, I'm going to call you Clay. That's your name. I'm going to keep calling y'all WFT.
Tony, we got to keep you from getting upset out here. We're going to get Tony to do some Tai Chi. Cody Bennett's on the line.
Cody, talk to the people, Cody.
Hey, man, what a win. What a game. It was a phenomenal one, and we were able to pull it out. It was a good one, man. Fantasy-wise, it was a little tough. Up there till the end, Logan Thomas had a great game. He is probably available in at least 50% of leagues.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that happened in this game. The first half was shaky to say the least, but they found some leadership somewhere in that locker room at the halftime, and they came out there and played a hell of a second half to get that win on the undefeated.
Hey, Cody, it's David. You hear me?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Hey, Cody, thanks for calling the show. Tell the folks out there about your Twitter account and about what you're doing as far as on the fantasy side.
Absolutely. So Twitter, I'm at Cody Bennett NFL. That's with 2 N's, 2 T's. A lot of games I'll be live tweeting. I was live tweeting this one as well. And before games, always, I let you know about the fantasy pickups and who's good to look at and grab. This game, again, fantasy-wise, wasn't too interesting up until the end of, later parts of the game when guys were getting some catches there when the offense started moving. But it was definitely more of a defensive game for sure.
I thought this game played like a playoff game. There was some chess matches going on there, and a lot of there was a lot of strategy going on. To me, it felt like a playoff game.
Yeah, and it had that intensity, from the start. Really, it took a little bit, like I said, for them to get going. But once the offense had started moving, and same on Pittsburgh's side, Ben got into that rhythm of getting to Johnson to Juju. Obviously drops were a big part of this game. It doesn't really translate too much when you're watching visually, but that game was, it was bitter cold out there. And that ball feels like, a rock
but
when it's that cold.
But this is the Steelers. They're playing at home. If anyone can play in the cold, it's got to be the Steelers.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes it gets a little too cold to where no matter how used to it you are, physical nature of it starts to take effect on your hands. And once your hands go numb, it's hard to grab it no matter how used to it you are.
It's a good point.
And it translated. There was, I think Deontay Johnson, I believe, had somewhere around like 8 drops tonight himself. He came into the game with 6 drops in the season already.
Sheesh.
Eric Ebron, I believe, had 4 drops. There was a lot of drops going around, and I put a lot of that on the weather. I know they're used to it up there in Pitt, but right there on that river with that wind blowing, it was frigid out there tonight.
Well, it's weather and short prep time.
Yeah, that too, absolutely.
Okay. Cody, we're going to get you out on this. We're going to have you back on Thursday so you can set up everyone's lineups for going into the weekend. What do you think? You want to do a whole slate, or do you want to pick your games?
We can figure it out. I'll get some rankings together for some guys for people to look out for.
Perfect.
I can leave you with a little tidbit tonight. Obviously, with Antonio Gibson going out with a toe injury,
right.
We're hoping that it's not going to be turf toe. But even if it's something less than that, he's still probably going to be out for the season. So you want to look at either J.D. McKissick or possibly Peyton Barber to pick up on the waiver wire. Those would be good pickups, to replace that production that Antonio Gibson's been giving out.
McKissick looked good today.
But
he looked good.
He did, and especially in those PPR formats, he got a hell of a lot of targets in the short passing game. Those catches equate to points, so you definitely want to target him. He's probably owned in a lot more leagues than Peyton Barber is, but Barber should definitely get some goal line work moving forward in these last couple weeks.
Excellent. Cody, thanks. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit our listeners and our viewers with your Twitter one more time, please.
Absolutely. Check me out on Twitter at Cody Bennett NFL. That's with 2 N's and 2 T's. Catch all your fantasy news and updates on there every week.
Thanks, Cody. We'll see you on Thursday. Thanks for joining the show.
Guys.
Appreciate you, babe. All right, you heard it here first. We're going to have Cody Bennett, the Bennett Breakdown. We'll have him come on our show on Thursday.
Yep.
We are probably going to work on the UVA VT game first, and then we'll bring Cody in last. But we want to make sure that you guys get a look at these games, not just from Tony with the X's and O's and the Jimmies and Joes, but also from the fantasy side. That's why we have Cody helping us out with this. James Garnett, the Washington defense caused them drops.
James.
No, they didn't. No. A lot of those drops were purely drops.
That.
That's just what they were.
Y'all need to stop all this stuff.
We were watching the game just like you. I saw Ben hit one dude straight in the hands, and it just squirted right through. It's some of those drops were almost unexcusable for professionals.
Y'all need to stop this. And y'all know y'all wrong.
But hey, no disrespect. If you're the 11-0 team, you have to make plays to win a game.
Gotta make plays.
Okay? And the WFT continued to make plays.
The WFT had an advantage. They better thank the Ravens that they made the Steelers wait all the way to the after-school special game. And then they're going to come play them on Monday night.
Let's talk about that after-school special game. Tony's referring to the Wednesday game between the Ravens and the Steelers. The Steelers took that. But what was interesting about that was the ratings.
The ratings were excellent.
Incredible.
Credible.
I was laughing at it, but honestly, there was a lot of people at home watching, and they made that little ratings box go ding, ding, ding.
Y'all need to thank the people from up north because Baltimore allowed the Washington football team to win. Because that playing on Wednesday, then playing on Monday, man, this ain't high school. This is crazy. That's the only reason why y'all won. I can't give y'all no credit on that.
Oh, come on, Tony. You got to give them credit.
Can't give them no credit.
You got to give them credit. Now, what I found interesting about this season with COVID, with the changes in logistics and the issues and the problems, and just as I mentioned that, I just saw it go across the ticker, the Ravens have activated quarterback Lamar Jackson. So they should be having Lamar Jackson back.
Just in time for the Cowboy game.
Just in time for the Cowboy game.
Man, I ain't messing with y'all, man.
The Cowboys aren't going to be able to handle that. They're not going to stop.
The Cowboys going to be out there piping.
They're not going to stop Lamar Jackson, Tony.
You had to beat Dallas. You got to pass the ball. You can't be running that ham and cheese. We're going to be up there smoking that ham and cheese tomorrow. You watch it. It's going to be a good game. That game tomorrow is going to be like the game tonight. And it's going to come down, and the NFC least is going to be the victor. I'm telling y'all.
My take on that game is I think Dallas loses by at least 14. That's my take. Ravens by 4. Dallas will lose by 14 to the Ravens, at least. Yes. That's my take. That's how bad I think Dallas is.
Hey, folks. Weed ain't legal yet.
The big boss, Melvin Bossman Robinson, you're right. The Cowboys do suck.
Hey, boss man. You need to stop that, boss man. Just because you're G-Man. I'll give you credit. You've been with them. And you've been riding and dying with them, boss man. And your boys are showing up. So I'm going to give you that credit. But I'm going to still talk trash to you because we want to know against y'all this year. So don't even come here with that.
Hey, boss man, you're a cigar aficionado. Give us a good stick so we can smoke to the Virginia Tech and Virginia game. Give us a good recommendation on a stick.
What you got,
put it on the text. Put it on the text line for us.
Put it on the text line.
We appreciate it. And we'll give you some display.
Because I'm the only one going to be smoking, boss man. I'm the only one going to be smoking because he ain't going to smoke when they lose.
Oh, no, well, I smoke whenever, but I might not smoke during the show. Let's see what is that. Is that Cherie Myers?
Sure, what she saying?
I'm a Steeler fan, and I had a feeling a loss was coming. Okay, we appreciate you for watching. We really, really do. The Steelers. I don't know if they were due for a loss. I don't believe in superstition. So a lot of people will say, don't go 16-0 because then the next game you lose, i.e. in the playoffs, would be your last, right? I believe if you're going to go through a season, if you lose a game, you lose it. I don't think that makes you any better for the playoffs or any worse. I think the Steelers right now are basically, I think that's a tie with the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, no, the Chiefs are 10-1, and the Steelers are 11-1 right now.
She called them the Walmart brand Kansas City Chiefs. They did look like that tonight.
Walmart. Wow.
Their uniforms were terrible. That shit was DC number 4, like I don't know what.
Oh wow.
Man, that joint looked like Northeast Cowboys versus.
I've got to laugh at
DC
that one.
number 2.
I've got to laugh at that one. You know, bottom line is when you look at the WFT this year, it's been a season of some ups and downs. There have been obviously some issues from the ownership. Side with the issues going on with Dan Snyder and some of the lawsuits and the disclosures about the sexual harassment. But on the field, new coach.
They find the way to win.
They get a new coach. Then the coach, then Ron Rivera has cancer. Goes through cancer treatments. Then the COVID thing. Then the Haskins situation with Haskins getting benched. Alex Smith coming into the fore. And then Alex Smith playing well. It's been a topsy-turvy season, but to be honest, it's been entertaining.
It's Washington. The Washington football team has summed up our whole country for this year. It's the same thing. I can't explain 2020. CAO Flathead, you're right, buddy.
Thanks, boss man.
Thanks, boss man. You know we're gonna get you.
So the official cigar for tonight's show, thanks to Melvin Bossman Robinson, is going to be the CAO Flathead 60. Bossman, is that a box press? That's a box press, I believe, right?
That's
a nice stick.
That's a nice
so
stick.
yeah, that's the official stick So, according to Cody Bennett, despite their record, Ron Rivera has been working this year. Ron Rivera's doing a really good job. I've got to give the defense credit as well. Del Rio has them playing pretty well. They're top five defense. Last I checked, and that's going to be that's going to be important for the Redskins, for the WFT. They've really got to keep that defense tight. If they make the playoffs, which I think they should, if they make the playoffs, their defense is going to be where they hang their hat. Yeah, I've got to write that one down.
Playoffs. Hey, I got you. Hey, my man Charles Eggleston, I'm going to hit you after this show, man, so I might come by so we can get a smoke. Oh, you need to come on. I told you come on down, man. It's Pearl Harbor Day. Come on over here and filming at the studio. You know where we are out here watching Monday Night Football, brother.
Excellent. Hey, boss man, thanks for putting us on that. And
put us on that joint,
Thank you so much. Another stick that's been brought up to us, the Cuban Cohiba Esplendido. That sounds like a nice
That came
stick.
from Purple Heart. That's Charles. That's my man Charles Eggleston.
Excellent. These are some good sticks here, and you see I'm
Box press. He did say yes.
Yeah, definitely going to check that out.
Figure it was a box press stick.
So let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart as a UVA guy. Let's talk about that brown liquor, because whether I win or lose on the Virginia Tech game, I got to sip on something. So usually what I would do is maybe some Virginia Gentleman. Now at UVA they have this thing called the 4th year 5th. Now this is not for the faint of heart. Do you know what the 4th year 5th is, Tony? When you are a 4th year, a senior at UVA during the Virginia Tech game, you must drink a 5th of brown liquor during the Virginia Tech game. Now usually we lose that game, so it's very easy to drink a 5th because you're drowning your sorrows.
Okay,
but
boss.
I drank the 4th. I've done the 4th year 5th. I drank mine.
Hey, see, that's over my head because I'm ghetto. All I know is Cisco.
Oh my God, Tony, that's bad for you.
Or Mad Dog 2020.
Oh my God.
See, Mad Dog tried to tell us about the year 2020. See how bad it was going to be. He tried to tell us. Mad Dog 2020 is terrible. But that's all I used to drink. That and Cisco. You know what I'm talking about, Roller. Woody. We called you Woody the Wino.
Hey, Purple Heart, you need to hit Tony and let us know where we can get that Lusitania from, that Lusitania stick.
He got him.
Oh, he's got him?
He got him in his house.
Oh. We should go over there.
Charles, man, you be playing games. You know you got that stick.
Well, back on the brown liquor tip. For my money, what I enjoy, I do like a nice single malt. I will do a Johnny Walker Green. Very good stuff at a nice price point. Get it at your local liquor store. It's the Green Label. Trust me.
Does anybody know where I can find Cisco?
You can find Cisco at, I don't know, at the funeral home. They embalm people with it.
Am I 30 years too late?
Oh my gosh.
I know Cisco.
Cisco is terrible.
And a little Grand Marnier.
A little GM is
little
good.
Grand Marnier.
Little Grand Marnier. Take the chill off.
I got a little bougie in me, but I'm still ghetto with the Cisco.
Boss Man says you can get Cisco in Southeast DC. You know what, Tony? Next time I'm down there visiting friends, I'll bring you a bottle. You can drink it on the show.
Good, and I want some Cisco.
Oh my God!
Now I'm gonna put some Cisco right up in here
terrible.
and
it's
drink
not
it right
good.
in front of you.
It's not good for you. But like I said, our top 3 cigars on the show, we've talked about the CAO Flathead 60, Cuban Cohiba Esplendido, and the Partagas Lusitania. Delicious cigars, highly recommended from some cigar aficionados. I think what we should do from now on, we should put a couple of sticks on the show. I think we'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. It's syrup.
Grand Marnier is syrup.
I like the girly drinks.
Grand Marnier is syrup, but it's Grand Marnier. I'll tell you what's good. Grand Marnier on the rocks with a splash of pineapple is not bad. Just saying. I wouldn't do it with a stick though.
They said Grand Marnier was some pancakes. They were trying to join on me. Hey,
somebody's gonna try that.
Hey, boss man, the G-Man.
Our friend Boss Man Robinson is a big Giants
He's a big Giants fan.
He loves the Giants. I think he's a Yankees fan too.
He
likes all that. Yeah. But I've got to give the Giants credit in a season where they could have just packed it in and just given up.
Yeah, they could have.
They're still out there fighting. WFT in a season when they could have packed it up and given up. They're still out there battling. I don't know what the Eagles are doing right now, but they're okay. They're barely breathing.
Yes.
And we don't know exactly what's happening with the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Purple Heart says he's got a bottle of the George Washington Estate whiskey. Okay, how about that Thomas Jefferson head rye, the one with the 13 stars over Thomas Jefferson's head. It's got his head on the bottle. That's a delicious rye. I've gotten more into rye as I've gotten to be a man of a certain age. I didn't used to drink that stuff, but now I like a good rye. Cody Bennett says it's Jalen Hurts' time in Philly. It might be.
Might be.
And I will say this, he's a lot cheaper than that Carson Wentz guy. But Jalen Hurts, great story.
Great story.
Pushed out of the program at Alabama. Did pretty well at Oklahoma. He did well.
Third in the Heisman.
Finished third in the Heisman.
Come now.
And then now he's with the Philadelphia Eagles in a situation where he finds himself now fighting for the starting job. So with Carson Wentz struggling, as we talked about earlier in the show, Carson Wentz, if he is removed from the roster for the Philadelphia Eagles, he is a $59 million cap hit, which is 34% of the total cap for 2021, give or take a few bucks. But bottom line, yeah, Cody, you're right. They have Wentz signed through 2024, but he's a lot easier to get rid of after at 2022 when he would be a $24.5 million cap hit. That's more what you would rather do, but you don't want to take the cap hit at $59 million.
So
you're right, Cody.
He's got to be on the team.
Yeah. Boss Man says by the end of the season, the Eagles coach will be gone. Peterson, you can't get rid of him.
Can't get rid of him. He's got a Super Bowl.
He's got a Super Bowl. You can't get rid of a Super Bowl coach this fast. At this point, you've got to ride it out. That's my take on that. I don't think Peterson's going anywhere, but you never know. We'll keep an eye on that story. That's something that we want to talk about. But in a situation in this, when you're talking about, as Cody Bennett mentioned, fourth highest QB contract in the league. Okay, your quarterback, your coach, and your GM are all aligned. Okay, if your quarterback is not doing well and you're the coach that's standing him, and then the GM is behind that, and you sign the deal, when that quarterback goes down, you go down too, or potentially could. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but it's going to be hard for them to back another horse right now. I agree with you, but I disagree with you on that, boss man. Peterson's going to be around. They're not getting rid of him.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of him.
I know somebody who won't be around. Greg Williams has packed his bags from the New York Jets as defensive coordinator.
Will the Cowboys coach be around?
Mike McCarthy. Jerry has done dumber things, but I think you have to give the guy at least another year. You can't just keep bringing in a coach. Things don't work out the way that you want. At some point, the players in that locker room have to look in the mirror, because even Jason Garrett right now is looking back. Even Jason Garrett wasn't this bad. This is terrible. So I think the Dallas Cowboys are having a crisis of conscience. I do think there's a manhood issue in the locker room. Speaking of manhood issue, hopefully we're trying to get Rick Doc Walker on the show. We hope to have him on Thursday. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Boss Man. Greg Williams did lose his job today for the New York Jets. Made a really, really boneheaded call on a all-out blitz call with his team up by 4, and all they needed to do was force a fourth down or run the clock out, and they gave up. The only thing that would have hurt them was a touchdown.
Yep,
they threw it right over the top. I looked back at that play. It looked like the cornerback was in single coverage on a deep route. There was no safety help back there. So, at that point, the New York Jets were looking like they were tanking. To be honest with you, I don't know what the situation was in Vegas on that game, but if you picked the Jets to win that game and you lost, you're probably pretty upset with Greg Williams today. Wouldn't you say, Tony?
Yeah, you're pretty upset, but they want the quarterback. Like you said, boss man, they don't want to win. They want that draft
pick. Tank for Trevor. That's right. Well, they almost blew it. They almost won that game just by sheer idiocy. But We'll worry about that later. Let's recap a couple of the games that Tony and I talked about earlier. For those of you that just joined us, Tony and I recapped the Las Vegas win over the New York Jets. We just talked about it. The Titans dropped a game to the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield looked really good in that game, Tony.
He did.
You thought so?
I like Baker.
Is Mayfield starting to come into his own? Is he starting to really understand what he's doing, and now that he's at the controls?
Two things. Running back number 1, running back number 2.
Okay.
That's in a nutshell. The best thing for a quarterback is a running game. Ask Ben Roethlisberger tonight.
Oh dear. Yeah, they didn't exactly pound it like I thought they should, but that's we understand that. Next game that I highlighted, Giants upset the Seahawks at home, handing them their first home loss, 17-12. The Giants' run game was strong, 31 totes for $190. Colt McCoy was average, but that was good enough. Defense really got after Russell Wilson.
Yes,
got to keep that guy healthy.
Giants going to be an issue.
I think you got to keep him healthy.
Giants going to be an issue. They're going to be an issue.
The best way to keep a quarterback healthy is to run the football. That's how you keep a quarterback healthy. I think the Seahawks have got to run the ball a little better. They've got to incorporate more running into their offense and take some of the pressure off. At this stage in his career, 43 drop back attempts for Russell Wilson, only 27 completions and sacked 5 times. Eventually you're going to get that guy hurt back there. You've got to be careful. Oh, boss man, we're going to have Cody check on that for you, boss man. Hey, Cody Bennett, is Daniel Jones going to be back on the next game for the Giants? Cody is one of our NFL guys. If you could check on that for us, thanks a lot. Boss man, if Danny Dimes is back, what do you think that bodes for the rest of the season for them? Okay. Brian Fox, Coach Fox says, Tony Kennedy, Dwayne Haskins could not have done what Alex Smith just did.
Man, you crazy.
Well,
man, y'all need to stop this. Y'all acting like he's doing something special. He ain't doing nothing but running. Check down Charlie.
These are check
I
down.
can do check down. Y'all need to stop
the
this.
Throws that Alex Smith made today were not impossible to make. Okay, they were not impossible to make. I'm not taking anything away from Alex. He has a lot of experience. I just don't see. I don't see Haskins as somebody that doesn't have the talent. I think he has the talent to succeed. I think the WFT coaching staff has got to do something better with coaching young quarterbacks. That's just my take. I don't know if they handled RG3 properly when he was here. That was the Shanahan regime. But at some point, apparently Haskins can't check down. Brian, come on, man. That's basically what Haskins does. Haskins is not going to be working at 7-Eleven next year, boss man. Haskins will be here with the WFT. There hasn't been any decisions yet from the WFT if they're going to have Alex Smith back. I know that they want... okay. Brian Fox. Alex has won his team over. Haskins did not. Haskins had 6 games to do it or 5 games to do it. You can't win a team over in 5 or 6 games. If 3 games as a starter. Let's be honest. Alex Smith was the quarterback a couple of years ago before he got hurt. So, of course, he is winning the team over. But let's not put that all on Haskins. That's not the kid's fault. Just a tough situation to come into with a quarterback having a catastrophic injury like that and then almost losing his leg. So, yes, I like Alex Smith. I just don't think that Haskins has gotten a fair shake here in D.C. So we'll only see we're only going to see better things from Haskins hopefully going forward. So moving on. Let's talk about that Eagles situation before we get back to the text line. Eagles lose to Green Bay 30-16. Again, the big story. Carson Wentz pulled for Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, the rookie. 2019, Wentz signs a 4-year extension through 2024 for $109 million. He is the fourth highest paid quarterback in the league. Okay,
he's a Jesse.
That's That's a lot of money to be paying a quarterback to be playing that bad. As I recall, he is last. He has been the most sacked quarterback in the league this year.
He has been.
That's not all his fault, but Wentz is holding the ball too long. He's got to get rid of that ball. He is already an injury-prone quarterback. He's taking a lot of punishment back there.
Taking a lot of punishment. Too much. Too much, guys.
We got to turn the page on him. Moving on, just also talking about that roster. $59 million cap hit. I'm going to keep going back to that. That's rugged. That's rugged. A lot. So, WFT again. WFT wins tonight. They beat the Pittsburg Steelers by a count of 23-17. Kicker Dustin Hopkins tacks on 2 field goals towards the end to seal it. Logan Thomas with a big tying touchdown catch.
Logan
Thomas from Virginia Tech.
DT in the house playing good ball tonight.
Great throw by Alex Smith there. Interesting call. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter. With a 4th and 1, the Steelers throw to running back Anthony McFarland, who had 5 catches on the year. They're not going to Schuster. I don't understand that. I don't understand that call at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I at that point, why didn't you run it on 4th and 1? Mm-hmm. I know you can't run it, but you've got to be able to get 1 yard.
Hey, boss man, Logan looked real good, and that's a good thing. He looked good because he ain't got that scrub with him no more. Know what I'm talking about.
Now.
All right, you know how I roll.
So we've got some cigar tips. We've talked about the CAO Flathead 60, delicious. One of my favorite sticks. The Cuban Cohiba Esplendido, and the Partagas Lusitania. Purple Heart, you got to get me one of those. Can you get us one of those? I'll smoke one live on the show, and I'll give everybody my take on that. Tonight, I won't be drinking any brown liquor, although I probably should. It was a great night of football and really enjoying it. Having a great time here on the TD Report with Tony Kennedy. I'm your host, David Combs. Brian Fox, Steelers offensive coordinator loves Ben too much.
What's up, TK?
Hey,
we've got Ed Tomlin on.
No, we got Charles Eggleston.
Oh, okay.
He's Purple Heart. This is Pearl Harbor Day. Charles, say hello to everybody for us, please.
I just want to say I appreciate everybody that's online. This is a special day for all who served and for the lives that was lost on this particular day. Over 75 years ago. And by me being a Purple Heart recipient, being awarded the Purple Heart, which many are dead in the ground from the same treatment and from the same decoration. I get that feel. But just to give you a tidbit of what I was saying, I do have a George Washington State rye, which is a limited. They only make 50 bottles of the rye per year. The extent, I guess, the silver edition, and it's given to Purple Heart recipients. So I'm pretty sure it's not too many folks that get that state rye, and it still costs me about $2.50 a bottle for a pint. So it is smooth as silk. So we can drink some bourbon or some whiskey sometime, but
absolutely.
That rye is definitely for a special occasion.
Well, they have that at the commissary for you guys, right?
Oh, no. You have to go to George Washington State to get this.
You got to go to Mount Vernon for that?
Absolutely. That's the only place you can buy it.
Okay.
Thank you, boss man.
Have you had that Jefferson rye? Have you had the Jefferson rye, Charles?
I have not.
That's a little bit more readily available, obviously, than the George Washington estate. But you definitely want to try that Jefferson rye. There's a couple of different editions. Go for the one with the big Jefferson head on it with the stars over the top.
Will do.
It looks like it looks like the Revolutionary flag. It looks like this.
That's even better.
Yeah, it's easy to see. Hey, we appreciate your service, and we thank you for calling in. My own uncle, Lowell Combs, was also a Purple Heart recipient. Got his Purple Heart Valentine's Ridge, and he's on the wall. So totally appreciate your service, and thank you for calling in, Chuck.
And I just want to give a shout-out to my guy, the main guy, POW. Name is James Diggs in Annapolis. James Diggs, look that name up. He was black POW that was held the longest during the Korean War. He just turned 90 yesterday, so we celebrated his birthday in Annapolis yesterday.
Wow.
So you definitely want to tip a hat to that guy. He was mistreated and he was tortured for 72 months. So go figure that. You're 16, 17 years old.
6
and
years.
you're going off to fight. And you snuck in the military because it's a manly thing to do back in that time. World War II, Korean War.
Sure.
And it was no other avenues for the blacks. And when he got home, he told me about when he came home as a POW. They tried to pull his decorations from him and didn't even want to treat him at the hospital, really, but there was force because he had been in captivity so long.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I was able to be a voice for this gentleman years later. And it was only when he saw me on the news going through the Walter Reed scandal as he seen, as he said, a little bit of him. And it is what it is. But I'm in the fight because of guys like James Diggs. Remember that. That's the quiet storm, the untold heroes.
Well, thank you, Charles.
Thanks, Chuck, and we appreciate you for your sacrifice, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
guys, too.
Thank you, brother. I'll hit you up. Thanks, bro.
You got it.
All right.
Let's do that.
Later.
Take care. Bye.
Chuck Eggleston on the show. We thank him for his service, Purple Heart recipient, and a connoisseur of fine estate rye, I see. So we definitely going to have him back on the show. Just to give you a quick update, right now the 8-3 Bills playing against the 5-6 San Francisco 49ers. It's currently 14-7 Bills.
Right
We've got
before-
about right before half.
We're
right
going to
before
give it
half.
to the first half, and then we'll be out.
Yeah,
folks.
we're going to go out right when those clock goes zero.
Hey,
But we
hey,
wanna-
Brian, that's messed up. You talking about thanks for the sacrifice, or you couldn't hear me being wrong. I ain't wrong. I'm right on this Georgia night. Y'all trying to give Alex Smith all that credit. And it was the defense. And you know it was the defense out there tonight. With no defense, they would have got blown out.
Listen, everyone, we've had a great time tonight, bringing you a big game. Thank you for everyone that joined. Thank you for everyone that joined on the text line. For those of you watching, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Tell a friend. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about cigars. We're going to talk about bourbon. We're going to talk about whiskey. We're also going to talk about fine football. We're also going to talk about NFL and college. So thank you, everybody, for joining us on the TD Report. I'm David Combs. He's Tony Kennedy. We're going to see you guys on Thursday. What time? What time are we getting on Thursday?
We're coming on 7:15.
7:15
We
on
always
Thursday.
come an hour before the game starts so we can run you into the game. Please spread the word. We're trying to get this thing on YouTube and make sure that it's great. As you can see, we're going to be dressed in garb that night. UVA, Virginia Tech.
Going to be a big
Thank
game.
you, Brian. Hey, we're just on here to talk that trash because we love you. Whether you're a Washington football team or whether you the G-men or whether you them boys.
Thanks, Steve.
We love you.
Thanks, Cody Bennett. Cody Bennett NFL, at Cody Bennett NFL for you folks for your
And our
Twitter.
Twitter, TD_report. Y'all keep joining us.
Thank you.
We ain't going nowhere, folks. We'll be back in a couple of days. Come check us out. This December 2020 is a hell of a show.
Thanks, everybody.